Well, hey everyone, and welcome back to this book study on the Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haudt. This is a reflection on chapter 2 of the book. It's worth noting Jonathan Haudt in his own life is an outspoken atheist and evolutionist. So you're going to see some of those aspects throughout the book, especially in the way that he'll especially on the evolutionist front, he'll kind of pull some of like how we evolved and things of that nature from that. Don't let it throw you off, but do, read critically and make sure you're seeing where that's happening. But the thing for me, as I read through the book, there's no denying the research and the reasoning to the effects that the digital childhood is having on everyone, but specifically on those kids who are going through those pivotal years in a digital way. This chapter is monumental for understanding the way that God has designed humanity, but specifically designed children to develop, to learn, and to mature. Jonathan focuses on the areas of free play, on attunement, and on social learning. One of my favorite movies of all time is the movie Sandlot. I love Sandlot. Grew up watching it all the time. Sandlot is a group of kids who every day go to the baseball field all by themselves and play baseball. They go to the swimming pool as a group. They have a sleepover in a tree house. They even go on these wild adventures, and rarely do you ever see an adult in the course of this entire movie. This is the best way I can visualize free play. And let me describe to you a change that it's been making in my own life. The book states that many parents won't allow free play, mainly because it's of an inconvenience to them. And that is 100% true. Often my daughter will ask, Daddy, can I take the dog on a bike ride? Or Daddy, can I go play on the rocks by the lake? Or Daddy, can I walk across the street to the neighbor's house? And she'll say these things. And often my response is like, hey, I just got home from work. Let's just chill out, find something to do here. Or, no, we got to get ready for dinner, this or whatever. And I'll kind of come up with something because it's like that's extra work, and then I got to worry about it or think about it or whatever. Just find something to do in the house, or worse yet, hey, how about you watch a show? Right? What's my daughter wanting? She wants free play. She wants adventure. And I see now God designed her to grow, develop, and mature through free play. Many parents will not allow certain aspects of free play because they'll say it's just not safe. And I've been really challenged on this, being a reason to withhold adventure. Honestly, I don't know exactly how to define the word safe. Is it life with no risk? Is it play with no risk, adventure with no risk, or life, adventure, play with no injury? How would you define the word safe? Because everything about life involves risk. Everything involves risk. There's ways of mitigating risk. And I think instead of that word safe, I've been trying to supplement in the word, especially as I teach my daughter, evaluate the risk, right? Evaluate the risk. There was one time we have this slide that goes off of our deck, and my daughter was standing on this slide. And she's like, Daddy, look at this. Now, if she falls off the slide, it's going to be a good 10, 12 feet down. And there's some rocks down there, and I got some chopped up firewood. It's not going to be a good fall. So I just looked at her and I said, hey, assess the risk. And she sort of looked around And then I saw her slowly climb down off of the slide. Now, was that free play? Yes. Was it adventurous? Yes. But assess that risk. Because there's other times where you kind of assess the risk and you're like, what's going to happen? They slip up a rock and go, 12 inches into some water, or maybe they fall off their bike, but they got a helmet on and land in some grass or whatever. And you kind of just assess the risk. So we want to empower our children to make smart decisions, but we also want to encourage them to have free play and even risky adventures for their best development and growth. Now, all of this is based on this one chapter of this book. But as I was reading through chapter 2, I had kind of two feelings coming through me. Number one was, yeah, this makes total sense to how God created us. And then the second feeling I had was, wow, screens, social media, and how phones are just messing up this entire thing big time. Because screens remove free play. Social media and screens have messed with attunement in unhealthy ways. Often they take our presence away from our children who need our faces to learn, grow, and develop. And how social media has had detrimental effects on social learning and the ability to be with others in social environments. Jonathan Houdt says on page 62, he said, healthy brain development depends on getting the right experiences at the right age and in the right order. And then on page 64, he says, in a phone-based childhood, children are plunged into a whirlpool of adult content and experiences that arrive in no particular order. Identity, selfhood, emotions, and relationships will all be different if they develop online rather than in the real world. This was a very important chapter to me, and I believe it's a very important chapter in the book to really understand the argument. And I can't encourage you all enough. Slowly read through this chapter and work your way through the study guide. Answer the questions and really allow this chapter to help you think through your own parenting strategies and how to help your child get the right experiences at the right age and in the right order in the real world. Thanks for joining me for this reflection on chapter 2, and we'll see you next time for a reflection on chapter 3.